I never thought much about spiders. They were just tiny nuisances, nothing more than a flick of a broom or a squish under a shoe. That changed the day I found the nest. It started with the basement. The old house I'd just inherited had been sitting empty for years, and the basement smelled of mildew and abandonment. I had avoided it for weeks, but when the water heater broke, I finally had no choice. The stairs creaked under my weight as I descended into the dim, stale air. My flashlight flickered across the room, revealing cluttered shelves and cobwebs so thick they looked like curtains. My stomach churned as I realized how many spiders must have been down here, weaving away in the darkness. The water heater stood in the far corner, covered in dust and surrounded by webs. I sighed, swiping at the webs with a broom. As I cleared the area, I noticed something odd. Behind the water heater was a small hole in the wall, barely the size of a basketball. The hole pulsed. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, but no. The edges of the hole moved, contracting and expanding like a slow, deliberate breath. I stepped closer, my flashlight beam trembling as it illuminated the glistening mass within. It wasn't a hole at all. It was a nest. Thousands of spiders swarmed inside, their bodies writhing together in a pulsating, living mound. The sight made my skin crawl, but I couldn't look away. Then, something shifted. From the center of the nest, a large, bloated spider emerged, its body grotesquely swollen and shiny black. Its eyes, all 8 of them, seemed to glint with intelligence as they fixed on me. My breath caught in my throat as it started to crawl toward me, its movements unnervingly smooth. I stumbled back, dropping the flashlight. In the sudden darkness, I felt something brush against my leg. Then another. They were everywhere. Tiny spiders swarmed up my legs, their spindly legs prickling my skin. I screamed, swatting at them, but more kept coming. They poured from the nest in an unending tide, their bodies glistening in the faint light. I ran, clawing my way up the basement stairs, but the spiders didn't stop. I felt them in my hair, under my clothes, biting and burrowing. My skin burned, and my vision blurred as I reached the top of the stairs and slammed the door shut. Panting, I stripped off my shirt, shaking out dozens of tiny spiders. My reflection in the hallway mirror stopped me cold. My arms were covered in red, inflamed bumps, each one wriggling slightly. I watched in horror as the bumps burst open, and tiny spiders began crawling out. The last thing I remember before passing out was the faint sound of clicking legs and a voice, a soft, chittering whisper, saying, "You're ours now." I woke up this morning, my skin smooth and unblemished, but I can feel them inside, crawling, waiting.